Alrighty then. Hey there, friends and family. Welcome back. You're here with Francisco, and I got the Gladiator here in the garage. We went ahead and got some new tires. We went ahead and got the 37 by 1250 Patagonia MT02s, and I think that just really finished off the look that I was going for. I think it's going to be a good enough size for the trails that I want to run. I wanted to do a 37-inch tire because I want to carry a full-size spare tire, but as we were getting them installed, they did let me know that unfortunately my spare tire did not want to mount up to its original position. That's with me even taking off the heat shield, which was very easy. It was just a bunch of little 10 mil nuts. I haven't seen an issue with people removing the heat shield and, causing damage to the tire. I don't think it really gets that hot enough back here, or it must like cool off fast enough. But I've tried to do some research, and I really couldn't find any forums that said that there was going to be an issue with me removing the heat shield and it being so close to the tire. But as you can see, that's the 37-inch. And it's butted up to my hitch right here, which I am not going to remove. Down here, you can see that it's completely rubbing on my rear track bar. And it really sucks because this track bar, as you know, is fairly new. It came with my Evo lift. And it kind of sucks, especially because, it's an Evo 4.5-inch lift. I could only assume that Evo knows that people are gonna run larger tires than the 35-inch tire on these lifts. As far as I was able to look, I did not see a track bar option that also had maybe a bend or something to be able to compensate to be able to run a larger spare. But thankfully, Metalcloak has one. I know Clayton Off-Road also has one, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with Metalcloak products because we do have a Metalcloak lift on our JL, and I just love their products. Their customer care is 100% top notch. They take care of you. So I went ahead and went with the rear track bar from Metalcloak, and it has that slight bend right here so that I can go ahead and have plenty of clearance for my 37-inch tire. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna go ahead and install that because we got a plethora of trails, it seems like, that we're gonna be knocking out this weekend, the following weekend, and we're just gonna go ahead and make sure that the Gladiator is ready for battle. As I'm doing this from Metalcloak, I also went ahead and got the rear swaybar reinforcement bracket for the end links. If you remember, or if you've seen any of my past videos from the Molina Ghost Run, the driver's side right here ended up pulling out completely. Thankfully, it was just the rubber part that popped out from the swaybar bolt right here, but it did also bend my bracket right here, so I had to bend it back. They're also notorious for just ripping out and then needing to either weld a new bracket or getting something like this. Evo does make the same reinforcement bracket, but I think I'm gonna just go ahead and start buying Metalcloak products from here on out. These should be fairly easy to install. I believe there's nothing to it. I think there's two 13 mil bolts right there, and then these are 19, so we'll go ahead and pop that off. And then for the rear track bar, we're going to go ahead, and I believe it's a 21. So I think this is pretty much all the tools we should need. I will be using blue Loctite and a torque wrench to finish it all off. So hopefully it's a smooth install. We can get our tire in there, and then I'll go ahead and I'll do a bolt and nut check at the end just to make sure that it's all ready to roll. We'll go ahead and throw some of the torque viz on all the bolts that we go ahead and install right now. That way we can go ahead and do a good little quick check on the trail if we need to. Alrighty, so let's get started with the bracket, and it's gonna be a 13 mil to pop these two off. Let's see if this does it. Alrighty, they were not really tight at all. They popped right off really easy. And then we'll go ahead and pop off the sway bar end links. on my bracket right here from the frame, it already stripped out. So I ended up grinding that out with the little die grinder, and I was able to just fit a regular bolt through and put a nut on the back. It seems I did see a lot of people strip these out. Yeah, the kit did end up coming with 2 extra bolts so that if you do have to grind it through or put new bolts in, it does come with these 2 right here, and then your nuts that'll go into the bottom, or is that's the way I'm gonna put it. So thankfully Metalcloak already kind of predicts that, or knows that those are failing points, and they go ahead and provide these 2 bolts. Bam. Okay. And I am going to leave it loose for now, because I am going to have to go ahead and remove the other sway bar end link. I can't replace it because I also ended up getting some longer ones. If you remember, originally it came with, I believe they were like 18-inch from Evo. They were just way too long. They were hanging down really low. I ended up getting these right here, where we had these lying around. These are 12-inch, and as you can see, it's just really high up now. I want to say that that was the issue, is that when I was flexed out, it was just not enough slack, or it was just too short. The 12-inch was too short. So I got some 14-inch sway bar end links. So we're going to go ahead and try these out. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the passenger side out, and that way I can go ahead and drop it down and put these back in. And then I'll be able to put my bolt in and tighten everything back up on this side. So we're going to go ahead and put these on without washers, because for some reason the bolt's not long enough if you throw in some washers in there with it. It might be because my bracket was just bent, but yeah, it's not too happy with those on there. And that's in right there. Should be good to go. Washer down here and nut, and that should be about it. I don't think there's much else to it. Tighten the bolts back up. These, I could not find a torque spec to them. For some reason, anybody knows that, let me know. These ones, I'll go ahead and I think I at least take them down to like 50 foot-pounds. So it wasn't too bad of the install. That looks pretty good. I do like that gold from Metalcloak. Kind of wish I would have had the control arms also. It's okay though. Like I said before, we'll go ahead and run the Evo lift through its paces. Maybe one day we'll switch over to Metalcloak, but for now, this stuff looks really good. I do like the positioning better. It's a little more flat. It's not too far up. Hopefully that allows that sway bar to get a little more flex back here, because I was getting quite a bit of flex up from the back, which was really good. I'm just hoping that it doesn't bend that or rip it off again. We'll go ahead and do the same thing to the passenger side, and that'll be done. We'll go ahead and move on to the track bar. Alrighty, let's do the track bar now. Alrighty, the track bar was set to its proper length. It was nice and centered, so we're gonna go ahead and just mirror that right onto the Metalcloak one. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it by running some bolts through it, and that way it can just mirror it. Bam, just like that. So this is all I did. Went ahead, extended it out to where the nut or the bolt fell right through, and then the bolt fell right through on this side. So it's basically the exact same length right now, and that's what we need. So we're gonna go ahead, jam this guy up a little bit. Alrighty, let's get her in there. So I did shift over a little bit. I think we can get this with the ratchet, I hope. Come on. Alrighty, we gotta go down a little bit. Alrighty, that'll do. Okay, everything looks good. Good on that end. Now we're gonna go ahead and torque it down. I wanna say to about 120 foot-pounds is what I'm gonna be doing. Like 1 inch and 5/16 is gonna do this good. And now I'm gonna just go ahead and do it to the same setting that's on there right now, which is the 120. Alrighty. Good to go. Okay, lastly here, some high vis. That way we can make sure that this thing's not coming off. And I'm gonna go ahead and just put this on everything that we just put on. Moment of truth. Let's see if we can get our spare 37-inch tire in there now. Does it look like it's going in? I hope it is. Oh yeah, much better. Come check it out. We still got, I mean, again, if you guys remember, my hands are pretty small, but I can fit my fingers through right here still and have good clearance. It's almost touching the frame, but not too much at all. Or it's getting close, but still some room. And then some room on this side. That's the gap right here. My hand can fit completely through the exhaust. And it's pretty much butted up to the hitch. And actually there's still a little gap right here. Definitely a win on Loki. What do you think? Not too bad. It was fairly easy. I think that went smoothly. I do like the positioning of the sway bar now with these 14-inch sway bar end links. Let's hope that that bracket helps out and prevents it from ripping this bracket out right here. And we got our 37-inch spare nice and tucked under there. I really like that. And overall, the Patagonia MT02 tires have been really good so far. I've only had them on for about a week, and I've been commuting back and forth every day to work just to make sure everything's good. I did change my setting with the taser to be able to match the miles per hour. But I'm gonna tell you right now that it's gonna need a re-gear sometime here in the near future, because my 8th gear is basically essentially gone. If I'm rolling downhill, I'll see 8th gear and I have to have like no drag, no headwind or anything like that for it to actually stay in 8th gear. I get the lightest bit of drag or a slight uphill on the freeway and it's back into 7th gear I go. So I want to say that no, you cannot run comfortably a 37-inch tire with the 410 stock gears that the Rubicons come with. Especially, you know, if I'm gonna be using it daily for commuting purposes, I need that 8th gear back. So we will see in the future what route we're gonna go with. I already have something in mind. Let me know if you're running 37-inch tires, what gearing you're using. I'm keeping it very light. I'm not towing, I'm ground tending it. It's gonna be a very light build. That's what I'm gonna go based off of my gearing that I'm gonna be choosing. Yeah, I mean, so far, again, fairly inexpensive. I wish I could have gone with the Mickey Thompson ATs, but those things and the 37-inch tire would have been expensive. Honestly, a lot of the guys in our Jeep club are running these and they've had really good luck with them. And we've gone pretty far out. Death Valley, a couple of our guys had them there. I've seen a couple guys with them on the Rubicon and they did very well. We're gonna put these to the test and see how they are. But I think for now, the Gladiator is in a position that I like. Right, Loki? What do you think? There you go, he approves. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna be pretty busy. Our Jeep club, Outcast Jeepers, we have an adopted trail up here in Pinecrest area, Heron Creek. We're gonna go ahead and link up with the local ranger and get that opened up, making sure that it's ready for summer. And hopefully I can go ahead and film that for you guys and show you what that trail's all about. But until the next video, you guys take it easy, all right? Peace.